Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, thank you. I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Yeah, perfect. I thank you.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from The Unity, Rise, which is coming out the 14th of September through Steamhammer. I've gotten the chance to be able to check out this album over the last couple weeks, and I just love where you guys are at right now with this band. I love the self-titled debut. I love what's going on here with this new album, seeing the progression of the band, and it's just amazing to be able to see some more of The Unity in 2018.
Thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem. So, with that said, how did the songwriting process begin for this new album?
You know, back in January this year, we got the offer to join Axel Rudi Pell on his second leg of his Nights Call tour that starts in October. And this is a great chance for us because, I mean, last year when we released the first record, we went on tour with Sinner and later on with Ed Guy, and that was so important for us because our fan base grew. And, you know, with that kind of music that we're playing, you know, we don't get that much radio play, or we don't get, you can't see our video clips in the television or whatever. So you need to play as much as possible. So this chance or this offer to play with Axel Rudi Pell was a cool chance for us, and we thought, okay, if we do that, it only makes sense if we have a new record out, and that's why we made a really tight schedule, and it was really hard time and stressy time because we started in January, and we had to finish the album, the production, the mixing, the mastering, the cover artwork, and everything in June, and this is not much time. I can tell you. So, but we managed it, and we're really happy and glad.
So, with that, I mean, what was that like? I mean, obviously, I can imagine it was hard, and there was some stress that was going on, but what was it like to be able to go from the idea of making an album to having everything finalized in 5 months?
Yeah, you know, I mean, when we discussed the idea, it was not that we all said, okay, yeah, let's do it, this is cool. we had our doubts because, I mean, the quality level of the first album was high because it got good reviews and the people liked it, and we sold some records, and it was clear to us that with the second album we have to at least keep that level and but better increase the level and or make a better album. But you know, if you start to write songs here, you don't know what happens, you know. Writing songs is a creative process, and being a human, if you are a human being, you're not creative 24/7, you know. It's you have periods in a year where you're not in the mood of writing songs or whatever. So it was we knew that it was kind of risky to say yes to the plan to go on tour and make this album. But in the end, you know, when we started the songwriting after the second or third song or idea we had, we didn't think about it anymore, about this situation that we have to finish the album and that it has to be a good album and everything, because we knew that we were on a good way, and it all came out naturally later on. So it was pressure and it was stressy, but we never had a doubt that we can make it.
So, with that said, thinking about that, after getting a couple songs down and knowing that you're going to be going in the right direction, was it a particular riff or a song where you started to realize it was going in the right direction, or was it the fact that you're already starting to get this number of songs where you started to realize that everything was going okay?
No, it was not, you know what, to be honest, it was not this one situation where we realized it. It was just at the beginning that we said, okay, this is really a tight schedule and this is kind of risky, but come on, let's do it. And we started to work, and we didn't have the time to think about actually to really think about what we are doing at the moment. So, but then when you have some songs or some ideas collected, then we realize, okay, hey man, we are on a good way. But that's all we said, we just talk to each other and say, hey man, that sounds good. Seems like we're on a good way. We never said, oh man, thank God, it seems to work out really good, and now we have to see that we continue this way. No, we just continued, and we worked on, and yeah, it worked out perfectly.
It's amazing how it can work out like that. I mean, sometimes you get some news where it kind of lights a fire under you, and there's a little bit of pressure because of the time and everything that's going on, and it feels like such a dramatic thing to be able to get all this done in X amount of months. But you guys just proved that. It could take like the first half of the year, a little bit less than that, and being able to write and complete this full album, and it really shows the quality of the chemistry and the songwriting and the talent behind the band, because I would have guessed this album took years to make rather than just a few months because of the quality of the songwriting and everything that's going in there. It just sounds like a perfect album for the Unity.
Thank you so much. Good to hear. You know what? I wouldn't dare to say that we can repeat that, Maybe it was just a one-time thing where we had really this great luck, and maybe next time, January next year, somebody says, hey, come on, you can go on tour with us, and we do the same, and we will fail. You never know. But you know what? I mean, we're 6 people in the band, and we are all really experienced musicians, and 4 of us are really good songwriters and the main songwriters from the band. And we can collect all our ideas from 4 different people, which is really a lot. It's not that we have just one songwriter or something like that. We have, let's say, really, this is like a songwriter community, so to say, and this makes it more easy, to collect high quality stuff in a small time or a short time. I mean, but you never know what happens in the future. Maybe next time it will be more difficult. But now, for this schedule and this plan we had, I'm so thankful that it worked out well.
Absolutely. I mean, it was just the perfect album at the perfect time for the right situation, and I'm glad to see that it did turn out the way that it did. Again, just like all the songs that are on the album, they fit so perfectly well together. I love the diversity of everything that's going on. I mean, even though you got songs that are so different from each other, like Last Betrayal, so different from Welcome Home, from Better Day, but you're able to form this all together, and it fits so perfectly in this collections of songs. And again, it's a great album because I want to be able to go from start to finish and listen to all of it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is because, I told you that we have 4 different writers. That doesn't mean that, I'm bringing in 3 songs, the other one is bringing in 3 songs, and so we collect 12 songs. No, the songwriting process is, we don't have that one songwriting process. We have different ways of writing songs. For example, one way is that someone has a finished song in his head, and he presents it to the band, and we all say, hey man, this is perfect. We don't need to change anything on this composition. Let's leave it the way it is. Perfect. And then we have the other way where someone has maybe just an idea for a melody or maybe a guitar riff, and we say, hey, repeat that. What was that? Do it again. Okay, cool. Let's work on that. And then everybody is welcome to give his input, and maybe this is the reason why this album, or I mean the band in general, I think in a certain way it was the same with the first album, that we have this variety in our songwriting. Though I think that you can, in every song you can hear that's that the band is the unity, and not this band that it sounds like different bands. It's just that it has different or a certain variety, so to say.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I mean, even though there is a lot of diversity that's going through there, I mean, there's a lot of great fast moments, a lot of great melodic moments, a lot of great positive moments through the album as well, especially lyrically. I mean, I love the fact that you're able to explore so much territory, but it still sounds like the unity.
Yeah, that's what I try to say, that in the end, all that matters for us is that it sounds like the unity. But I think also this is a natural thing. If we 6 people come together and make music, it automatically sounds like the unity, because of the voice, because of the way I play the drums, because of the way the guitars play, guitar players play their instrument, because of the way the bass is sounding or the keyboard is arranged and stuff like that,
And speaking of that, when it actually comes into your playing of the drums, did you switch up your setup at all since the first album for the Unity?
I switched up what?
Did you switch your drum setup at all in any way since the first album?
Nothing. I didn't change the mic. I didn't even change the mics, because you know what? In my home here, I have a small studio, and my drum set is always set up and it's always mic'd. So I'm able to go over in my room and do a recording right now, without any pre-work. So this is very, very comfortable, I can tell you, because I'm a musician. It's like with every human being. You have good days and you have bad days. You have days when you feel good, and you have days when you are not a good mood or not a good shape, or you're tired or whatever. And the good thing is, when I feel like doing some recordings, I go over my room and I start to play. And as soon as I see or feel that something is wrong, or I don't feel that good, or I get tired, I stop and I go back into my house, drink a tea, drink a cappuccino, watch a movie, whatever, and continue tomorrow or next week or whatever. The good thing is we are not, we don't have to enter expensive studios. And if you do so, I mean, expensive studios or real big studios have a lot of advantages. I know that. But nowadays, the productions, you have to see that you don't have that much money to do records, that's a real problem, and studios are expensive. I mean, and if you enter or you book a studio and you say, okay, this week we will record the drums or we will record the band, then you have to record it in that week because you booked it and you have to pay for it, even if you're not in the mood for it. So this is a very comfortable situation here at my home, that I can record whenever I want.
Yeah, and that just sounds so very inspiring as well, too. The fact that you were able to build the studio and be able to record the drums, make sure that they sound exactly the way you want them to. It's the right kind of setup that you want to use, the right mics, everything that you got going on with it, and record at your own leisure. I mean, the fact that you don't have that pressure of wasting studio time and money, and you're able to just do it at your own pace. I mean, that's the best way to be able to get a recording off an album.
Absolutely, and I can tell you, I'm really proud of the first album and the second. I mean, in a way, I'm proud of every recording I've done, but on some more, on some less, But on these 2 recordings, I spent so much time. I mean, no, that's not correct. I didn't spend that much time, but I took the time to really get the best performance that I can give. And this is because of what I told you. When I feel I don't get that, I don't get that, it's wrong. I'm not in the mood for a recording today. Okay, leave it. Go back to your house and do something else. Take a rest. Go to bed. Whatever. And that gave me the chance really to to give my best and to have the best possible performance.
Absolutely. So, while I'm thinking about that, I mean, was there any particular songs on this album that was a challenge for you to be able to record, like coming up with any drum ideas or anything? Or once you started getting into recording mode, did everything start to feel natural?
Most of the songs felt natural for me, was because I was involved in the composing and arranging process, and so it was. The material was familiar. I was familiar with the material, let's say it in this way. So that was not a challenge. Sometimes it's a challenge to, let's say, to give the song the right mood, the right drive, the right groove, you know? You can play a usual backbeat like tuck, tuck, tuck in 1,000 different ways. Although the notes are always the same, but you can play it a little bit more laid back, or a bit more ahead, or heavy and whatever, or more light and flowing. This was challenging because I think our songs. We were talking about the variety. We have some double bass stuff. We have we have ballads, and we have mid-tempo stuff. They all need different approaches, you know. And even if we're talking only about mid-tempo songs, not one mid-tempo song is played in exactly the same way like the other. So every title needs his own performance and his own way of drumming. You were talking, or you were asking what was challenging to me. There's a song called Children of the Light on the album, which is a double bass song, but not a fast one. It's like tukutaka, 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 tukutaka. It's too fast to play it with one foot, and almost too slow to play with both feet. So that was quite challenging to keep the groove there, or to get into the groove and to create the right flow on the drums. But it took some time. But then it worked out.
Yeah, and I was actually really curious about that one for the reason that you just gave, because I was wondering if that was with both feet or if it was just single foot when it was going on there, because it is just in that tempo where you got to decide if it's going to be both feet or single foot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I played it with double bass. Yeah, and that was really challenging because, you can hear every wrong note in that slow tempo. This is, and you can see it on the computer also. You have this, you have it all on the screen, you know, and this is sometimes frustrating but okay, take the challenge and make it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I can say it from the fan perspective. I absolutely love what you did with this album, especially considering the time restraints and everything that went into it, and just the overall collective of the album. It feels so fresh and so natural and so perfect for what the Unity is, and it's so admirable that you were able to get it done in almost the first full half of the year, and now coming out in just a couple weeks now through Steamhammer Music. What's it like for you now, knowing that in mid-September that this album is already out that you started working on back in January?
You know what? When I think about it, and when I try to have to think rational. Is it right to say rational? You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Okay. When I think about it rational, I must say it was dangerous to do it like we did it. But maybe because of what we experienced last year, we had huge self-confidence, and we knew that we can make it. And we are so long. We are musicians now for so long, and we know what to expect from each other, and where we are maybe expecting too much. But if I think about it right now, and I'm doing all the interviews right now and all the people tell me about, ask me, how did you do the recordings, and when did you start to work on the album? And I always tell the same thing, obviously, because I mean it started in January and we finished in June. And every time I say that, I think to myself, this sounds so unrealistic. So if someone would have told me last year that we would do something like that, something so dangerous, I would have said, oh no, better don't risk what we achieved so far with a band, with a not good recording or with a not good product. But now we made it, and I'm really, really happy and proud.
Oh, and it's great to hear that too. I mean, I can definitely tell from the sound of your voice, like how happy you are with the way that this album has turned out. And I know it's been getting some great reception so far from the singles that I've seen. And it's great to see from the community, from the band, and I know everything that's going to be coming up with that upcoming Axel Rudi Pell tour, that everything is just going in the right direction with the Unity as it deserves to be.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what we think too. So, and we do anything to push the band and to make it more successful and to become as successful as possible, because I mean we are all around 50 years old. I mean, this is probably our last chance to make a project like this. I mean, now I said project. It's not a project; it's a band. But you know what I mean when I say to do a project like this, to let's say establish a band, a new band. I don't think that we get much more chances in our lives now. So we have to do everything possible and spend as much energy and time as possible to make it as big as possible.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I'm so happy to see the way that the Unity has turned out the way that it has. I mean, now with 2 amazing full-length albums and getting these amazing touring opportunities that's going on. I mean, the fact that you guys are going to be going out pretty soon, just a couple months now. I mean, October. I mean, it's almost 1 month now with it almost being September. But just the fact that you're going to be able to go out and tour behind this album very soon after the album gets released, and being able to show off what the Unity is all about in 2018 on an amazing tour like that. It's just, I'm glad to see all of that timing worked out the way that it has.
Yeah, it's what I call perfect timing, and but I mean we do everything we can do, but in the end it's all in the hands of the fans, and but I'm positive. I think that we can increase our fan base, and that there will come a lot more from the Unity in the future, and we have some plans. I won't talk about the plans now, but we have some plans, and let's see how it works.
Oh, and I'm glad to hear that too. Already thinking ahead like that. I mean, I'm assuming that those plans would be something for 2019 or beyond, whatever the case is. But I'm glad to see that those are already in the works.
Yeah. You have to plan your stuff for a band, and that's what we did actually. And let's see.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with that, that's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so very much for taking this time to talk to me about everything that's going on in the world of the Unity right now, including the brand new album Rise, which is coming out the 14th of September through Steamhammer. It was amazing to be able to get your insight into how fast this album was made, but the quality of the album that's also made in that short amount of time, the upcoming touring with Axel Rudi Pell, which is coming up in October, and everything that's going to be happening in the future as well. Of course, not knowing what that is yet, I'm just very excited to see that everything with the Unity is just going full force like this, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Then I'd like to take the chance and say thank you to everyone who listened to the interview, and to everyone who supported the Unity in the past. And I really hope, and we really hope, that the people like the new album as much as they like the first one, and we really hope to see you all soon. Maybe on tour. You never know.